What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel.
We got Jackie Franchuli on the line from Gators territory. It's the Rivals platform for Florida athletics. Jackie, how you doing today?
I'm great, Mark. Enjoying some nice time off, getting ready for the season. It starts a little bit earlier for the Florida Gators with their game being moved a little bit further up. So, yeah, enjoying the next couple of weeks before all the grind starts.
Gives them the entire national spotlight, along with Miami, of course, on August 24th. That moves up training camp, moves up everything in the rotation in terms of shortening the summer. SEC Media Day starts before the other conferences. It's going to be here before we blink. All right. Recruiting is nonstop all the time, 24/7, 365. There was a rough stretch there, but now gaining some traction again with a couple recent commits.
Yeah, kudos to Christian Robinson, first off. He's a the linebackers coach, and he's done a great job on the trail. A lot of people have been really impressed by him, from even last class when he was able to, get like a guy like Taryn Hopper on board. And yesterday he secured one of their biggest commitments in Derek Wingo, excuse me. He's such a good player from South Florida. He flipped from Penn State. He's such a big linebacker for Florida to get. It was a position of need in this class, and they just needed to have some momentum before heading into the dead period. So getting a guy like Derek Wingo on board before that dead period was a really big one for the Florida Gators, and he was the third commitment in 2 days for this staff. They also got defensive tackle Lamar Goods to flip. He actually decommitted from Kentucky a few days before, and then he decided to commit to Florida on Friday. Obviously, defensive tackle is a position that Florida really needs to reinforce in this class. He took an official visit, and, the Florida staff has been getting a lot of knocks saying they can't close on players. Well, they did close on this player. He took an official visit last weekend, decommitted from Kentucky, and then a few days later he committed. So that was another big win for Dan Mullen and his staff before the dead period. And then obviously another a very big one was they got a kid out of Jacksonville. Travis Johnson committed to Florida. He's a DB from the Jacksonville area. He's a great athlete. He has a lot of raw talent. And just winning a kid out of Jacksonville, which is an area that Florida has struggled the last few years, was a big win for Florida as well. I can't stress this enough. It's all about momentum, and going into the dead period where it seemed like you're having loss after loss after loss, it could dampen a little bit, especially when you have Friday Night Lights coming up just as dead period ends. You have first practice and Friday Night Lights on the same day on July 26th. You're going in there now with these three big commitments, and honestly, they could have one or two more commitments even before Friday Night Lights coming up. That's something that we've been hearing. So a lot of good news for Florida as they head into, vacations for the staff, and as they prepare, to face Miami next month and then 2 months.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily as big a believer in momentum during game situations as a lot of people are. I think it's a factor, but at the same time, when a team scores 3 consecutive touchdowns, of course they've got the momentum. They just scored 3 consecutive touchdowns, whatever that means, momentum. And then when the other team scores 2 consecutive TDs, they suddenly got the momentum. But the thing you're looking at there in regards to the recruiting is obviously the psychology of it. And kid sees that, player A, B, and C, who I have a connection with, and they're similar players of similar rank, they were considering Florida, and why didn't they choose? And then he didn't choose, and then it looked like he was going to go there, and he didn't. There must be something going on here, and then that does create something that doesn't necessarily exist in reality, but then becomes a perception that snowballs one way or the other.
Yeah, and that's the problem that Dan Mullen was facing, the last month or so. Just think of it this week. Marcus Rosemy, a very talented wide receiver, just came out of a Florida official, and then he committed to Georgia over Florida and has yet to take an official visit to Georgia. That's not great optics for the Gators when their main competitor in the SEC East is Georgia. So perception-wise, that was hurting Florida. So that's why these 3 commitments that they got wasn't just, random kids saying, I'm pledging to Dan Mullen. There were 3 high-quality kids, 3 very talented individuals that is boasting the linebacker room, defensive tackle room, and a DB room. These are 3 athletes that will fit into the scheme, and that's why it's such a big deal. These guys were high-priority kids for Florida, and they chose Florida. So that's why perceptionally, this is great momentum for the Gators as the staff, goes on vacation and then also plans for Friday Night Lights. Because as soon as they get back, Dan Mullen has SEC kickoff on July 14th. And then Friday Night Lights is July 26th. And so is the first day of practice. So everything is kind of coming together real quick. And these 3 commitments will certainly help perceptionally and just getting some negativity off of Florida. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Florida. So this is some good positive momentum moving forward.
Time to talk Florida football here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We encourage you to help us build the channel. Grab the Amazon link in the description section below. Don't have to buy the product or spend an extra penny, but it helps build the channel and deliver content like we are right here with the Gators and Jackie Franchuli from Rivals Gators Territory.
Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.